What's up, guys? It's Mike for Sim Racing 604. Welcome back to the showroom here in rFactor 2. And for the first time, I'd like to introduce you to the official Studio 397 DLC of the Formula E Generation 2, aka the 2019 Formula E for rFactor 2. So it's much more stylized. We had the first edition, the 2018 Formula E edition, already for rFactor 2 as official DLC, but just today, April 19th, 2019, we got this, the Gen 2, much more stylized. It's a great looking car. It's got a lot of wing treatments. It's got the halo. It is much more reminiscent of modern Formula cars than the original Formula E was. So glad to have this. I did this review of a similar car for Assetto Corsa that was the VRC version, which is excellent in its own right. So what I wanted to do here is just quickly introduce you to this car, and the best way to do that, I think, is just to actually take it out on track. We're going to go to Leicester. So just quick introduction to the Leicester track. So Leicester is a semi-fictional track that we've had for rFactor 2 for quite a while now, but it recently entered version 2.0, which is where it got introduced to myself and many others, and it is fantastic. It's a great track that you should have anyway, but what they've done, what Studio 397 has done as part of this release for the Formula E Gen 2, has included a Formula E version of Leicester, which I think is fantastic. You take a community-made track, you modify it a little bit because it's already a great track, make it Formula E, sort of compliant, I guess we could say, and enjoy some racing in a track we already know and love. So this is it. This is Leicester. This is the Formula E version, and you can download this even if you don't want to buy the Gen 2 Formula E car, which is about €5 or $5. You can still get the track for free. I'll drop a link to that in the description to this video, just in case you have the first generation of Formula E, or you can race whatever you want here. But it's very tight. It has extra chicanes versus the original Leicester version, so it's much more it lends itself better to Formula E than it does a lot of other series, but either way, it's a great track that you should have. So without further ado, guys, we're going to jump out into this Formula E car and do a 6-lap race here at the Leicester. I guess you could call it E-Pre, or the Formula E modified version of Leicester. Alright, let's go. Alright, guys, so welcome on board the Formula E Gen 2 here at the Leicester. Let's call it the E-Pre track. It's too good of a pun to waste. Let's use E-Pre as much as we can. So you see me brake. Whoa, 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 whoa. No bumping, no bumping. Alright, up into 7th position, after starting 8th. Gonna do 6 laps here if I didn't explain that already. I was just about to talk about why I was braking so early there. So what's going on here is that Studio 397 has employed a brake-by-wire system for this car. I believe it might be the first in sim racing, actually. I know it's a new feature for rFactor 2. So what it basically translates to is the fact that this car locks up like nothing you've ever driven before. So it doesn't take much of the braking input to fully put this car into lock, and I do mean lock. When those things seize up, thanks to that brake-by-wire system, your car is gone. You're going to be on ice effectively, and probably careening into a wall. So you need to be very, very mindful of all your inputs, but especially your braking input. But it's cool to see that they actually went to the length of employing a brake-by-wire system. Like I said, I don't know that it exists anywhere else in sim racing, so good on you, Studio 397. As I'm in a battle here, have to brake nice and early here. Hopefully hold on to that position. Where is he? Where is he? He's backed off, so I have consolidated 6th position. Battery's overheating. I'm not too worried about that.
The lap was a 1:42.63.
You'll see just after I get to these billboards, the start of those blue billboards is where I brake. Normally, I mean, I haven't driven this in other cars, but it just feels more natural to brake a bit later than that. Use your threshold braking, of course. Pumping the brake does work a little bit, but you're going to have more of a challenge, probably, than a standard car. But enough about brake-by-wire. Let's talk about this course. And I will do a little summary, guys. I know probably the big question is, how does this stack up against the VRC version? And I will get to that. But I do want to especially commend Studio 397 on this great track. The track is fantastic. I know they didn't design it from scratch, but they took what it was and made it into, well, from an already amazing track in version 2.0 and a nice conversion to the Formula E sort of spec track. A lot narrower in sections, a couple of extra chicanes, and some nice visuals. So as we come into the final corner here, we'll talk about what exactly this course is. So nice and slow into the left-hander here, just building on that accelerator. We'll hold 6th position coming into the final lap, or excuse me, coming into the next lap. I wish it was the final lap. I would take 6th position anytime. A little bit of a slide, a little bit of curb there, no big deal. Alright, so that chicane that we just passed through, that is a new addition. That is not in the standard 2.0 version of Leicester. This section all the same except for the visuals. The billboards are all new here. Hard to remember what it was like before, but I believe it was just standard gray wall, standard racing gray. Is that a color? And a little bit of yellow in there with the billboards as well. So this chicane is new. This dumps you out in the middle of the left-hander where you would normally have a longer run at that left-hander. And then we get into the rest of the course, which is the same as the previous version. But to be honest, why change greatness? This track is fantastic. And I'm glad they didn't mess with Sector 3, because I think this is one of the best sectors in sim racing, and I just got another position. Hooray! 5th now. Flat out through this left-hander, building a good amount of speed here. And then just past the DHL billboard, I will start my braking. Just a nice, relaxed approach to that final corner.
The lap was a 1:32.82.
So again, this chicane is new. A little bit of locking there in the brakes. And believe you me when I say I wasn't giving it full brakes. So need to be very mindful of that. Not quite flat out through that left-hander. And very mindful of my throttle input through this section. He's going really slow, giving me all kinds of trouble. Good thing I had a little bit of distance there to work with, otherwise I would have slammed into the back of him. You can see my battery overheating there. Obviously I've got battery management issues. Going around the outside here. Oh, wow. Okay, I thought I might be able to sneak one around the outside, but he found his grip and made me look the fool. This guy's going very slow. Don't know what's going on with him. Might have a shot if I can get the inside of this next corner. No, not quite. So he's gonna outbrake me here. Only by a little bit. I'll try and get on the accelerator nice and early. Nah, I gave up a little bit of space. So I'm gonna hope for a slipstream here, but I won't get it.
32.59.
So, the verdict, guys. So with 2 laps to go, I figured I better start wrapping things up, assuming I finish clean. What do I think of the car? It's excellent. The car is very, very well done. I think your enjoyment of this car, I mean, there's certain cars where I'd recommend that, you know, I think that just everybody's going to enjoy by virtue of its, you know, the history of the car, or, you know, it's such a, you know, must-have series or something like that. Formula E, still very much, you know, coming into its own. It still needs to build up a bigger fan base in sim racing, that's for sure. It's not like it's the newest GT3 car or anything like that. So it's gonna your mileage will vary, pun intended, based on how you feel about Formula E. I think this is probably more of a, you know, technically sound version than VRC's version. I'm just speculating on that, but it just feels like there's a bit more to manage in terms of your inputs with this car than there is with the VRC version. Which one is more accurate? I don't know. I would say that if you only had to buy one, if you're looking to just jump in and sort of enjoy yourself immediately, I would say get the VRC version. It's excellent. If you're looking to sort of master
133.67.
Master a new challenge. Uh-oh, this isn't good. Master a new challenge, I would say the Studio 397 version. Like I said, it feels different than anything I've driven in sim racing, especially those brakes. It's very, very technically demanding. Really puts a lot of onus on you to sort of manage your throttle, manage your brakes, manage your speed through corners, things like that. But both are great. So if you want easy, go with the VRC. If you want technical, well, this might be for the one for you here. A little bit of a bump there over the curb. So we're not going to gain any more positions. Hopefully we can just keep this one. Go home with our 4th place ribbon participation trophy, if you will. But yeah, it's a very, very well done car. Again, it's just such a subjective racing series that I can't flat out recommend that everyone buy it. But for Formula E lovers, I would say, yeah, you should definitely. Oh no! Oh boy! All right. Well, I'm not a Formula E lover anymore. Anyway, guys, that was fun. Yeah, obviously I need to work on my my throttle inputs after saying all that about brake-by-wire, and everything else I just said. Then I totally blew it in the final corner. No 4th place for me. Oh well, it was fun. Alright guys, yeah, very good, very nice Formula E car. If you're a fan of Formula E, this is it. This is a great one. Alright, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.